this is an important question. Everyone that's tuning in tonight, everyone across New Mexico and across America has been hit hard by COVID-19. We need to listen to the doctors, to the scientists, and to the public health experts. The estimates today from the CDC are that over 219,000 people have lost their lives across America, nearly 1,000 in New Mexico alone. It's just wrong. And that's why there needs to be a national response to be able to stomp out COVID-19. President Trump has failed from the very beginning. And we now know, because of tapes that were released from a conversation that he had, that he knew how bad this was back in January. And he continued to spread misinformation. He tried telling the American people that it would be gone after Easter. He said that the warm weather would take care of it. And he spread misinformation like it was let out from a lab. We need to make sure we listen to the scientists, the doctors, and the public health experts. It's out of control, and it's a serious threat, and it's taken too many lives already.
No question, Gene, this is very serious. I mean, there are more than 200,000 people dead in this country. Each day now in New Mexico, we're setting new records day over day for new infections. So there's no question this is a huge problem here, and we need to do a few things. First of all, we need to follow the science. I think we can all agree on that. We need to mask up and social distance, but we also have to begin to target some help to people who so badly need it in this state, whether it be our small businesses, which are struggling, whether it be employees who are just trying to make a paycheck week over week because of this pandemic. And I think the key in all of this is we need another bill to come out of Congress and start to help the people of this state. But unfortunately, it's been politicized. And right now, Nancy Pelosi is sitting on a bill in the House and the Senate, and both sides are in this standoff. And it's got to stop. The congressman has a real role here and can really help get this done. So we've got to stop the finger pointing. We've got to get some aid to the people who badly need it. Now, I realize in the House, they passed a bill, but that bill had a lot to do with a lot of other things and not COVID. Things like releasing violent criminals out of jail early and also giving tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires on the coast. Let's cut that out. Let's just give people what they need to get things going.
I've got a follow-up for all three. I'll start with you, Mr. Ronchetti. Do you think we need another COVID relief package in Congress? Why or why not? But what should this package focus on, and was there enough oversight for the first CARES Act?
Look, I give a lot of grace to what happened with the first CARES Act to everybody involved, because everyone had to react very, very quickly in this on both sides. So I think both sides operated the best they could in the moment on the CARES Act. Obviously, there's been some fraud with the CARES Act. That should be pursued to the fullest extent of the law. But I don't put that on any of our leaders at all. But we do need another bill here, and I think it should include a couple of things. Number one, liability protection for businesses who are doing it the right way. If you're masking up and social distancing, you shouldn't have to worry about a frivolous lawsuit. Targeted aid to things like our hospitality and even our tourism industry here, that needs it as well. So some of these groups that didn't get any help definitely need the help as well. And we need to make sure even people that are still struggling to make those payments get some help too, Gene, because I think what we're looking at here is this continues to go on and on. That's why it's so important that we get a bipartisan bill out. And the fact that we've waited 3 months for that and there is no bill is unconscionable. And I would ask the congressman, why hasn't it happened?
Let me ask that the congressman that very question. Do you think we need another COVID relief package bill in Congress? But what should it look like, Representative?
Gene, I'm going to get to your question, but there's a few things that Mr. Ronchetti said that are important to point out. Number one, when Mark was asked during the debate on May 19, 2020, KSVP, if New Mexico should get more money and, in his words, bailed out, his answer was no. Pete Domenici and Manuel Lujan fought for every dollar for the state of New Mexico, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. And also, Mark said we should follow the science. I agree with that. But Mark also said, and he went to Twitter just like President Trump and said, the state of New Mexico should open up just like Texas and Arizona, while he continues to ignore wearing masks and has big events throughout the state. We need to make sure we're standing up to that nonsense. Look, there needs to be another round of relief for the American people. Direct payments of $1,200, small payments, like loans and grants that are going to help our businesses in New Mexico with small and large grants and loans as well. Support for our local hospitals, money to help our schools safely reopen, and that includes relief for the state of New Mexico cities and counties. Did you know that police departments, 86% of the funding for police departments comes from local governments? That money is going to be needed for the public health
1 minute,
response,
Mr. Lujan.
as well as helping our fire departments.
Do you have something, Mr. Ronchetti?
Well, no, I just didn't hear an answer from Congressman Lujan. He
Let me
is
give you-
the
let me
assistant speaker
give
of the
it 15
House.
seconds, if you would.
Just a quick, he's the assistant speaker of the House. He can provide the aid that everybody needs. So instead of the misdirection about talking about things and mischaracterizing what I said, Congressman, you're right there with Nancy Pelosi. You can get her on the phone right now and get a deal done and help people in New Mexico. That's all I'm curious about. Can't we do that?
Mr. Lujan, do you have a rebuttal?
To that? Look, Mark Ronchetti in his own Twitter feed said this is another seat for Donald Trump. This is not a seat for Donald Trump, Mark. The U.S. Senate seat in New Mexico is for New Mexicans, #1. You'd also be a rubber stamp for Mr. Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell this week said he was not going to do this. Mitch McConnell has been absent from the negotiations. The leader of the Senate, Mark, it's an absolute disgrace to the American people. We need the Senate to take up this COVID relief package rather than trying to push through that confirmation that they are. And you know that.